welcome to Between Brains. It's a podcast created by students for students. And my name is Alex. I will be your host for today. So today's episode is called Born This Way. And we invited lovely Emma just to talk a bit more about the LGBTQAI plus community and just to focus a little bit more on the life as trans. Okay, Emma, so I got to know you a little bit already before the show, but please now for the guests, introduce yourself a little bit. So what is your occupation? How old are you? Where do you come from?
So I'm 25 years old.
Yeah.
I'm from Groningen, Netherlands.
Yeah.
And I am a bartender in the weekends.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I
I
work...
used to do that as well, actually.
Sorry?
Yeah.
You did?
Yes,
Ah,
yes,
nice.
but only half a year.
Ah.
Yeah.
And I work at Groningen Forum. It's a new building. It's
Mhm.
in... I think they're opening tomorrow night.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna do art expositions there, exhibitions, talking, walking people through the exhibition, stuff
Okay,
like that. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Like kind of as a guide or more like an expert
Yeah,
telling the
guide
story of the
and
art and
both.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that's what I do
Okay.
currently. Yeah.
That's nice. And what are like some characteristics of yourself? How would you describe yourself?
I'm very busy.
Yeah.
I'm very extrovert.
Hmm.
Very social.
Yeah.
And I think that's me in a nutshell.
That's very cool, Emma. So, as I said already, today we want to get to know a little bit more about the community of LGBTQ,
Yeah.
AI+, and in general talk about these topics, talks as a life, as a trans. And you told us before this episode that you yourself are the trans
Yeah, I'm
and
transgender. Yes.
transgender. And we did some research and we found out, like in general, please correct me if I'm wrong, but there's LGBT, which stands
Yeah.
for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender.
Yeah.
And then there's LGBTQ AI+, which additionally includes queer, intersex, and asexual.
I think so, yes. And
Okay.
plus is for everyone in between. So
Okay.
if you're gender fluid, if
Yeah.
you're sexually fluid, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. And
A lot of letters.
a lot of letters. I know. I was practicing it
Yeah.
a lot, but I'm happy that worked right now. But next thing I want to ask, we try to search for a bit more specific, kind of definition to just tell the people what can we understand under transgender. And I found out that in general, it's mostly people that are born into the wrong body. So they are born into a female body, a male body, or whatever still exists. They're born into this, but they actually feel that they belong to the opposite sex. They're like wrong in their skin and don't feel like they belong to their biological body. So how
Yeah,
accurate is this, and what can you change?
That's pretty accurate, yes.
Yes. Okay.
I think a lot of people make the mistake of saying you're turning into a woman or you're turning into a man. I've always been a woman,
Yeah.
but something went wrong when my mother was pregnant with me,
Yeah.
and my body developed a different
Yeah.
way than
Okay.
it should have.
Okay. Well, this already leads us to the first question. When was the moment in your life when you actually realized this? When you noticed it? Because when you're very very young, like
Yeah.
after being born, you still don't have developed your full consciousness.
Mhm.
So when was for you the first moment in your life when you felt for the first time, okay, I think I'm actually in the wrong body?
Well, actually, being in the wrong body, you should be conscious of that actually being something that could happen.
Yeah.
When I was young, didn't know much about it.
Mm.
It wasn't as common as it is now,
Yeah.
and media or whatever. So I think I found out via YouTube that it was even possible, but way before that, I think it was
Yeah.
12, maybe 13,
Okay.
starting high school, yeah.
Yeah.
But way before that, I felt it was different,
Yeah.
Depressed, confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for me, I knew before I knew that I was actually transgender, that I was interested in guys.
Yeah.
So at first I thought I was just very feminine, very gay,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
And I didn't think much of it.
Yeah.
And it's also a very confusing time for you as a child, being going through adolescence, going through puberty and stuff like
Of
that.
course.
So it makes it even harder if you are transgender, because your body is developing and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm not liking any of this.
Yeah. Okay.
You have
Well.
to be conscious of the fact that it actually is a possibility.
Yeah. And so you said it was like at around 12 years old when you got to know about this topic.
Yeah.
How was it with your family? Like, did you had an easy step to really like tell the people that mean something to you, which can not only be family, can also be close friends? Like, what were your first steps in order to just make first
Start
of all
the
your
process,
personal
or-
come
yeah.
out, and then start the process of telling, okay, I'm not feeling like I'm belonging to this body. What can I do to change that, and who do I have to tell this?
Well, I'm very blessed with my family and friends.
Yeah.
Work as well.
Yeah.
Nobody really. Now they did care, but they didn't mind. My parents were always very welcoming of everybody. They
Yeah.
don't, whether you're black, white,
That's
they
amazing.
don't care
That's
at all.
amazing.
I've previously come out as gay,
Yeah.
so I came out twice.
Okay.
And they didn't mind at all.
Yeah.
And I think I came out to my friends already knew I came out to my parents when I was 18, I think. I was living on my own. I was abusing alcohol and drugs
Oh yeah.
because I was depressed.
Yeah.
And finally I was like, I can't take this any longer. I need to do something about it.
Yeah.
So I told my parents. Yeah, when I was 18, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you also said in the briefing that the part with the mental illness was bullshit.
It's
Or-
not a mental illness. It's not.
No,
It's
no,
been
no. I
classified as-
don't
no,
think
no. Yeah, I get
transgender
it.
is a mental
Yeah.
illness. I think if it can result resulting out of a society
Yes.
which doesn't accept it.
Yes, definitely I can. I was very depressed, suicidal for a long time. I think the numbers are like 50%,
Yeah.
so it's 1 in 2, commit suicide or tries to attempt to commit suicide.
Yeah.
So there's no statistic anywhere else
Yeah.
that's that high
Yeah.
in the suicide rating.
Yeah.
So that's very worrying.
Yeah.
And I think that's mostly because of society telling you you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're weird, you're nasty, dirty, whatever, you're being sexualized.
Yeah.
So I think that's society as a whole. If everything is like, I don't care, you're a person, it's fine. I think it would have been way lower. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And as we can see, your trends. Is it okay to say transformation? I don't know if that's something
Yeah,
to say.
your transformation, your
Or your
journey,
process
your
of
process. I think process
Okay.
is the right word. Yeah.
Okay. So as we all can see, you had a very beautiful, successful, in my opinion at least, process of feeling better in your own skin. And you said, okay, the first times you got to know that you feel like that were like at 12, which is already like in puberty.
Yeah.
So I read as well while doing some research that one of the biggest problems is that your body is pushing out hormones for the wrong gender, but you yourself don't feel like this gender. So I read that there are opportunities to take some therapies or whatever to start the process of
And
actually
diversity.
changing your
Yeah.
skin into the skin that you belong to.
Yeah.
So what could you describe as one of your first steps? What is needed here in order to start this whole process of being happier?
Okay, well, first of all, you don't need to go through the process. If
Okay.
you're fine with whoever you are,
Yeah.
then you're fine with whoever you are.
Yeah.
Being transgender doesn't define you with
The physical
having
appearance.
surgeries, having
Okay.
hormones or whatever.
Yeah.
I could be a transgender woman and
Yeah.
do nothing at all because I
Yeah.
would be scared. Or there are a lot of risicos. The word for risicos is risks. There are a lot of risks involved with getting through your process.
Yeah.
I had surgeries for 7.5 hours. I had
Okay.
my hormone therapy, which is basically second puberty, but then you
Yeah.
have it's medication, so it's synthetic.
Yeah.
So you can have extra effects,
Mm-hmm.
like side effects that you don't want.
Yeah.
I think it shortens your lifespan drastically because it's an impact on your body.
Yeah.
Because your cross-sex hormones, it's called.
Yeah.
So I got testosterone blockers
Yeah.
and I got estrogen.
Yeah.
And I think it's an impact on your body as well. So
Yeah.
it's not just a choice you take lightly.
Yeah.
And I think now you can start with puberty remers, so like blocking you from getting into puberty.
Yeah.
I think at age 12 or 13, with the right
Okay.
guidance
Yeah.
and right counseling, you can start at 12 or 13 to block
Okay.
it,
Yeah.
to wait,
Yeah.
see what happens,
Yeah.
see how you evolve as a person.
Yeah.
If you still want to go through with it, and then the process is quite successful because it's just a child's body.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you want to have a sexual reassignment surgery, so changing your genitals,
Mm-hmm.
that would be more difficult because there is not that much developed yet, so there's not a whole lot to work with.
Yeah.
So then that's the problem. So there's a bit of a, what do you want to do?
Yeah. It's
What's
you
more
have to-
important? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You just have to decide for yourself if
Mhm.
it's like if you really want to take that risk or not.
Yeah, and if you're already in the process of maybe your parents aren't that accepting of gay or transgender
Yeah.
people, or maybe you don't live in a society or a country where it's accepted.
Yeah.
So then you probably wouldn't start at 12 or 13. I started when I
Yeah.
was 18.
18.
So my whole puberty was over.
Yeah.
My voice got lower. That doesn't change back.
Yeah.
There's no surgery, whatever, that can change my voice from being less deep, or
Yeah.
my shoulders from being less broad. That's my bone structure. That's everything that's already there.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to work with. Yeah.
And saying that, you yourself, what would you say is actually like the best way how to start this process? Do you think it would be better to start this already in the very beginnings of puberty in order to just block things that you
Yeah.
will most likely change afterwards anyway, or try to change? Or would you say, okay, better wait first because of maybe the mixture between the hormones in the puberty and the hormone therapy that you get can be too
Yeah.
strong? So what
I think
would you
it's
recommend?
I think it's to each their own. I think it's
Okay.
so unique, and
Yeah.
every individual is different.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm not that sorry I started later,
Yeah.
because I don't want to have this vision in my mind that what
Yeah.
if I would drive me mad.
Yeah.
I stopped thinking like that.
Yeah.
Even my character traits, like, is it hormones? Is
Yeah.
it the way I am? Is it the way I developed? Is it me from birth? Is
Yeah.
it the facts? Is it actually, because I like climbing trees, I like riding bikes, whatever,
Yeah.
like guy stuff, male stuff. And
Well,
if you keep
yeah.
worrying about things like that, I think you could actually drive yourself mad with
Yes,
that.
of course.
So for each individual, it's different.
Yeah.
I think you have to be comfortable with the steps you're taking.
Okay.
I think mentally is it's the most important. It's such an impact.
Okay.
Yeah, what should you start with? I don't know. I think you should have guidance first.
Mhm.
See what you want, and take it slowly. Don't
Okay.
rush into it.
Well, you just said the most important thing is to just feel comfortable for yourself,
Mhm.
but we all know there's sometimes steps in between your personal goal and the things that actually want to, I don't know, stop you from that. So what my question right now is, during some research, I also got to know that at least in Germany, it is required to have at least 6 months of therapy before you are legally allowed to start with the process of changing your skin, of hormone therapy. How is this in the Netherlands regulated? How hard was it for you to take the steps you took? And how easy is it in this society to actually fulfill this?
Well, when I started, I was 18. I'm 25 now, so it's
Yeah.
about 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I was on a waiting list for a year, I think.
Yeah.
So you have
For therapy or for the...
for everything.
Okay.
It's so busy. They don't
Yeah.
have a lot of experts.
Yeah.
There are many people coming forward as being transgender or as being intersex, as being gender fluid. That there's not a whole lot of treatment centra in the Netherlands. There too. I think Amsterdam and Groningen right now,
Mm-hmm.
and the waiting lists are getting longer and longer. So I think it's now a year and a half.
So
2.
you would say also it's like the modern age is getting more and more people to actually
Yeah.
like say how they feel and
Yes.
actually express it towards
Yeah.
the society. Okay, that's
Yeah.
a good thing.
And then you have an intake. So you have
Yeah.
a talk with a psychiatrist, I think.
So they don't even take everyone. It's like they
Yeah,
select.
they do. But
Ah,
it's your first meeting. That's
Yeah.
right off the bat. That's your first meeting.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we have some lists. We want you to answer some questions,
Mm-hmm.
because they need to filter out people who are schizophrenic, people
Okay.
who are
Yeah.
depressed, people who are. There could be a multitude of things that
Yeah.
actually are mental illnesses or whatever. You can have a combination. I could be schizophrenic and
Mhm.
transgender.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to pick that out. So that's the first step they take. Then they put you on a list for further therapy.
Yeah.
So I think I had to wait a year and a half, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it takes some time to
Yes.
actually be able to start with what you want to start for, maybe for already so many years. So
Yes.
you think it's still, even though it gets even more and more accepted, you would say it's still not the easiest way that you can go, because not in terms of it's hard to achieve it, but in terms of the regulations that exist in the country are not perfectly made already.
Well, I think it is not almost perfect. They're fine-tuning it now. I recently was at a talk about being transgender and trying to improve healthcare at the UMCG, so the University Medical Center in Groningen. Talking with nurses, telling about my journey as I am now. And there were people from Amsterdam as well, from the treatment center there. And I heard what they're doing now with the kids and how they're treating the kids, what the treatment plan is. And it's come such a long way that I don't know what else you can put in there, but there's so many people who are willing to undergo a transition that there aren't enough healthcare providers, there aren't enough doctors, psychiatrists who are specialized in this certain topic.
So you think it's also like mostly right now more like a human research exactly, human resource problem that the state cannot really provide as many people as they actually need, but this is something that would be possible to adjust in the next years.
Maybe
I think
I think so. I think it's for a doctor. It's very interesting. There's a plethora of doctors, physicians, psychiatrists, psychology, whatever.
Just
I've
focusing
been in contact,
on that region.
Just focusing on that region. I had, I think, like 15 specialists. I've seen 15 specialists, and they have a team.
Each of them.
Yeah, they have a team. Groningen has a team, so they have a gender team. So they have a patient. They talk about that patient, what they can do, their treatment plan. So that's a gynecologist, a plastic surgeon, a plethora of different kinds of people.
Okay. Well, that sounds amazing, actually, that they make sure that everything goes right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, coming to the next question. Being now already 7 years in the process, what would you say was one of your biggest personal changes that you actually gone through that make you like the most happiest? What was something like very recognizable that you would say, okay, at that moment I actually started to feeling way better or way more true to myself?
I think it's mentally. If you're mentally not stable, you're not in order, you can change whatever you want about your body. That won't do a thing. You have to come to terms with who you are as a person. But you can change who you are. I think that's most important. So you have to find, for everybody, it's not just being trans. I think for everybody, it's about knowing who you are, what you're worth, and loving yourself. It's not about what you look like. Eventually, at the end, it doesn't matter. They're not going to tell at my funeral or eulogy. They're not going to say she had amazing plastic tits or what. You know what I mean?
No, that was also not what I meant. But
no,
I thought
know,
maybe there was like.
I think a lot of people think like the crowning jewel on it is your sexual reassignment surgery. It can take up until I think 6 hours. You can lose feeling. You can become incontinent, so you can't be able to pee anymore. There are a lot of complications. If you don't feel comfortable with that, and you don't want to do it, don't do it. Like it's not just like I have a vagina now. It doesn't work that way. So for a lot of people, and a lot of people are fine being a woman with penis. Like, who am I to judge someone else with what they're comfortable with? It's not my skin. It's not my body. I can't tell anybody else what to do with their body. So that's, for me, I think it was mentally. When it was, I think that's this year, becoming myself, being done with the surgeries, being done with my transition, and now finally being able to live my life and being able to find out who I am as a person, what I want to do with my life. It's been 24 years just about being transgender, just about being a goal that I wanted to reach, just about wanting to change. It wasn't about my future, it was about, do I want to have kids, do I want to study, what job do I want to do? It's not about that at all. And I finally am able to figure out what I want to do. And I think that's like the critical moment in my transition, I think, of finally becoming yourself, finding out who you are as a person, and it's not being about being transgender.
So first of all, you would just recommend to everyone, figure out your mind, figure out what you think, what makes you comfortable, what you think could help you, but be aware also that physical changes is not everything. You need to change your head, you need to get true to yourself. Okay, very good. So you also said that you're now, after all this long time of being in that process and focusing more on the transition.
Mhm.
Now you can actually start on focusing on your life in terms of the scale, what you want to do,
Yeah.
what you're going to do in your future, and do you have already plans for that? Do you think as trans you will face some problems in this society? Do you think that is not even being any
I
problem?
think everybody faces problems.
Yes.
Yeah, like everybody has something.
Yes.
Some people have divorced parents. Some people have borderline. Some people lose their legs when everybody has something.
Mhm.
So just focusing on I'm transgender, I can never be happy. That's not true
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
I think you have to overcome your own problems
Yeah.
and find your own inner strength and just fuck everybody. Do whatever
Yes.
do what you want to do.
Yes. Remember
Be
that,
who you
guys.
wanna
Fuck
be.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck everybody.
Yeah.
Like it's my life.
Yeah.
I have this once. I
Yeah.
can do whatever I want.
Okay.
We all die in the end.
That's the only thing we know for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. Yeah.
So that's how I live my life.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. I appreciate that. Okay, so we were talking about your future plans,
Mhm.
and what can you give us a bit more specific information regarding this?
I don't know. I never had to think about my future plans because I didn't think I had any.
Yes.
So since this year, I'm doing stuff I want to do.
Mhm.
So I started doing art history, I think, a year and a half ago,
Yeah.
and turns out I don't like to study.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing that,
Yeah.
and I'm picking up photography right now. So
Cool.
like digital, analog, whatever.
Yeah.
And working behind the bar is very nice. It's
Yes.
a very interesting place where I work.
Yeah.
It's an event venue, so they have jazz evenings, they have poetry, they have concerts,
Yeah.
festivals, whatever. So I'm looking into if I want to do communication studies maybe later or event management.
Yeah.
And I've always been into art. So
Yeah.
I did art myself. I studied art history for a year.
Yeah.
And now
In Groningen as well.
yeah, in Groningen as well. And now I'm looking into Groningen Forum where I'm going to work.
Mhm.
If maybe I can do more later or I don't know, who knows. I'm
Yeah.
very busy. Yeah.
And I can really tell you English is like perfect. Would you like to stay for the rest of your life in the Netherlands, or could you also imagine yourself
I don't
moving
know,
out?
I think I want to see the world.
Yes.
Like not Dubai or
Yeah, of
Saudi
course.
Arabia
Yes,
probably.
it's
But
maybe not the best country to go. Yeah.
yeah.
True.
But yeah, really want to see the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to live in different places.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
not a 9 to 5 kind of person.
Yeah.
No.
well, I wish you the best for that.
Thank you so much.
And telling that you want to see the world, that you love art,
Yeah.
that you started doing art yourself, you start with photography. Is there like any specific song, movie, or book that inspires you right now, or inspired you to do this, or could you, I don't know, tell something that could help people to better really focus on what they want to do,
I
what will
think
make them truly happy?
meeting different kinds of people.
Yeah.
I love living in Groningen because it's such a vibrant city.
Mhm.
There are so many different kinds of people. There's an art school, there's a university. A lot of my friends or acquaintances are in bands, are musicians, are artists, are from all over the world.
Mhm.
And I love seeing into other people's minds. That's what art does for me, like seeing how people think,
Yeah.
how they react to the world. And being in the process of of transitioning to the person you really want to be helps you learn a lot about who you are as a person, who you feel like, how do you react.
Yeah.
And I find it very interesting to see how other people work.
Yes.
And I think we can learn a lot from each other. So
Yeah.
that's why I love art and cultural stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So you think throughout the art it is possible to get even know the cultures a bit better, or the people themselves? Or do you
That
think
too.
because this is like a medium where they can express themselves?
Yes, their
Okay.
mindset, their emotions, their way of thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, I can only totally agree. I really like to speak with a lot of different people as well, from a lot of, preferably from a lot of different cultures,
Yeah.
because I think that is a kind of education. It's the best kind of education you can get. You learn so much from these conversations if you really focus on them, and this also helps you to understand way more cultures or trends or
Mhm.
societies, just because you sometimes have to accept, okay, well, they learn it that way, that's forming their opinion about this, and like basically I always say every one of us is kind of a product or a result of their surroundings
Yes.
and their circumstances, and this can be parents, this can be friends,
Mhm.
this can be the law in the country you live in. So I think really talking with a lot of people from different cultures is something amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can only recommend it to every one of you guys. If you can, just travel and meet some new people, because the things you
Yes.
learn from there, you will never learn them anywhere else. Like, they don't teach you that in school, not even university. So
Yes. And don't stay in your comfort zone. I hate the word comfort zone. Like,
yes,
if I'm
yeah,
scared to do anything,
Yeah.
like if for instance there would be bungee jumping right there, like I would never, I would get mad at myself. Like,
yeah.
you're gonna do this
Have
right
you done
now.
something like that actually before, bungee jumping?
No, I haven't, but I want
Yeah,
to try.
okay.
I want to try everything.
Yeah,
Like it's like I don't like being scared of stuff. That
Yeah.
makes me mad.
yeah,
If I don't understand something, I go to different kinds of concerts, things that I don't, metal, whatever,
yeah,
because I don't understand it, or because it's not something that I'm interested in, but because a lot of people are. I want to know why they are. I want to
Yeah.
know what triggers them. I want to know how they, yeah, what, yeah,
I
what pushes
think
their button.
this could be even like a major key in resolving discrimination. I think
Yeah.
discrimination and hate and fear rises, in my opinion, just of missing knowledge.
Yeah, it is.
So
It's
if
ignorance.
you're really, exactly, like if you're
Yeah.
ignorant, if you're not force yourself, or if you don't act towards gaining knowledge a certain topic, why have you the right to judge about it? I mean, in my opinion, it's always very important to really get to know something, to really inform yourself, and then you can have, or you have a better position to judge about something than if you just say, okay, I don't like it, but I also don't want to get to know
Mhm.
it. So yeah,
Yeah, I think someone told me yesterday. I think an ignorant person is scary.
yeah,
Someone who thinks they're intelligent and are ignorant
yeah,
are super scary. Like,
yeah. It's like even
you
worse.
should be definitely afraid of people who are
Yeah,
super ignorant and think they know everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, gonna notice that. Well, yeah. Coming back a little bit to the beginning of our conversation, just also to test myself if I did any mistakes. What is the most question you get asked, and what is like one of the most annoying questions you get
I
asked?
think like the most questions I get asked, which baffled me. I'm like, why
Yeah.
would you even want? What was your name before? I'm like, why do you?
Really, the
why do you
name?
care?
They asked
Like,
about the
yeah,
name.
I'm like, why do you care? It's like,
Yeah.
is that it? You're meeting someone with something that you haven't encountered yet, and that's the question you're
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah.
That's weird. If I have a penis, that comes up many of times. Like superficial stuff.
Okay.
Like I,
I haven't asked either one of these two
No,
questions, so
yeah,
I'm pretty
that's
happy
not-
right now, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, even if you just met someone and if you're open to it, and I usually talk about it when I go out or whenever. Sometimes I talk about it.
Mhm.
I'm like, you wouldn't ask someone else if their parents are divorced within 5 minutes. You wouldn't ask about their genitalia
Yeah,
after 5
of
minutes.
course.
Why would you ask me?
Yeah.
Like, unless I'm in bed with you, or I am doing it for educational purposes, you have nothing. You don't have to know what's between my legs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
If I weren't, if I hadn't had surgery,
Yeah,
how would you react if I said no, I still have a penis?
yeah. So you think?
And then what are you gonna
Yeah.
say? That, you know, like that puts someone in an awkward position.
Yeah, of course.
And I think you should, unless someone is actually telling you and
Mhm.
is open about a conversation, don't ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this would definitely be something where we would say, like, people, please just let it be, because
Don't ask
it's unnecessary,
Questions
and you
wouldn't
wouldn't
ask
do it to
anybody
someone else as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then we're already coming to the end of our lovely conversation, in my opinion, at least. What is something that you can tell, for example, young adults that are starting to think in a certain way and then realize, okay, I think I actually rushed this a little bit. I think
Yeah.
I'm maybe not so sure about what I'm not sure about.
I think it's a valid question.
Yeah,
It almost never happens.
never happens. So
No,
you think
the team
most of the
specialists,
times
everything
once,
gets
yeah.
filtered out. I think,
Okay.
and for yourself, if you're in doubt, don't do anything permanent.
Mhm.
Read into it
Mhm.
and get educated. And
And-
learn about yourself. You
Yeah.
can find everything on internet nowadays.
Everything on
YouTube,
internet,
everything
okay.
is there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a special source where you would say, okay, this channel really helped me to get to know more, or would you just say,
No, I'm not that
if you
active
search,
on
you'll
YouTube
find
anymore. I
something?
think you should just type it in or look at local, like we have an LGBTQ center in Groningen, I believe, too.
Okay.
A student society. Find something where you can talk to people who have been through the same stuff
Okay.
and ask your questions there.
Okay. And in the very beginning, what would you say to the people would be, of course, it's always depending on their personal situation, but what could be a general step or advice you could tell them for the very first beginning if they already know how they feel, but they don't really know how to approach this to their surroundings, to the people to the loved ones?
That's very hard because I had a wonderful time.
Yeah.
My parents even paid for half my book job, so
Okay.
I can't. It's.
Okay, so
I can
you-
only
you-
imagine how hard
yeah.
that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, friends you choose, family you don't choose.
Mhm.
So if your family is like, no,
Choose a good friend.
choose your friends are your family. In the
Yeah.
end, that's what matters most. I think
Yeah.
the people who you surround yourself with. I think that's why the word community is used with LGBTQA
Mhm.
because you find your own family. That's your
Yeah.
tribe.
Yeah.
I usually, that's at least for me, and I don't know if this is profiling
No.
gay people or whatever.
It's,
I
we're
usually
talking about your personal
immediately
experience.
I feel
so
more comfortable with gay men, around
Yeah.
gay men, because you've been, up until I was 18, I've been through the same
yeah.
discrimination, confusion. I think you have a lot of stuff in common,
Mhm.
and I think that's, you find your own people, find
Yeah.
your own family. If your family doesn't accept you, tough luck for them.
Yeah.
Like,
They lost someone, not
yes,
you.
they lost someone. You
Yeah.
didn't lose someone.
Yeah. Okay, well, right now I think I'm done with everything I prepared for this episode. I'm very happy that you were able to speak so openly and willing to speak so
Sure.
openly. And yeah, I'm just lucky to have you here. I think we have a lot of people that will have a big advantage out of this conversation.
I hope so.
And we actually prepared something for you. I don't know if you like it, but I
Sure.
think chocolate is something that everyone likes.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, thank you for being here. And I heard you also got your own social media channels,
Yes, I
and
do.
we like to promote the people as well. So please just say in whatever camera you choose
it's
to.
just my full name. It's
Yeah.
Emma Daglet. That's it.
So please check Emma out. We're gonna do that in the description, so you make sure to follow her during the process, which will still follow of your career, of your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, thank you very much that you were listening to that episode, and see you next time. Additionally, we will put in the description some links where you can find help or maybe help on the first steps to describe more specific for your own situation, what you can do. Also a hotline where you can call. So guys, please, if you're struggling with something, feel free to just check it out. It's most of the times anonymous, so even though you're first of all struggling and not sure about it, just make sure to seek out for some help, because we can see what beautiful outcome it can have if people decide to get more comfortable in their own skin. So guys, thank you very much.